Hello, Isolation Nation. Ben Glebe here, 1/3 of the quarantine, bringing you entertainment during the end of the world, because why not? You know, they played violins on the deck of the Titanic when that shit went down. Not go out with a smile. That's my opinion. I hope you've had a great 48 hours since our last show. We're always off on Thursdays and Mondays because time has no meaning. Why not take off some random damn days? You can enjoy the show for free and kick it. You can also, if you feel like kicking in super chats here on YouTube or on, you can do stars on Facebook, or if you'd like, you can go on the upper right of the screen, see our PayPal right there, and PayPal us to support us and the comedians and the friendly shoulder grants that a lot of this money goes to. Or you can also Venmo us from laughfromhome.com. There is a link right there. It's going to be an incredible show. Alison Rosen is our guest. I'll introduce her shortly. That was not an introduction. We have, of course, Queen Rachel on the comments. Queen Rachel is here today. What will she say wrong? Time to tell. Great to see you, Rachel. And now I kick it to our co-host, the man with the internet following that blows all others away. It's basically him and the Cash Me Outside girl and whoever else catches the world on fire. Please welcome Steve Hofstetter, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. For a while, I was just trying to catch up to Tila Tequila, and then things shifted. So I very much appreciate that. Quick clarification, by the way, Venmo is at the top right of the screen. That is not our PayPal. So don't PayPal to that, because that will go to someone else, and we don't know who they are. But it's time has no meaning, and neither do instructions. So do what you want. If you want to throw us some stuff, whatever it is, throw it in. We appreciate you having us here. Things have been going awesome with this. We get about 20,000 views an episode now. Things are kicking ass with Nowhere Comedy Club. Got a really nice video from Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall today, in both self-deprecating as well as in congratulating about Nowhere, and it's been awesome. So thanks for joining us, everybody. And with that, I'm going to kick it to the man who had the #1 comedy album in the world this week. Amazing. For like 2 days, and then it became #6, and now it's not even on the charts. But the point is, for 2 days,
2 days, baby.
This guy had the #1 album on both Amazon and Apple Music, which I keep calling iTunes, but it's Apple Music now because they rebranded. Please give it up for Mr. Chris Bowers, everybody. Chris Bowers.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're at day 16 or 17. I think we're getting closer. I'm going to have to teach Chrissy how to cut my hair. I don't know how far that goes, but it's getting a little wispy up here. So we found a pair of clippers, so we're gonna see if we can teach her to cut my hair in a couple days. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, good. I'm happy to be here. I'm a little hungover, but let's have a great show, everybody. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Yeah. Excellent. You want to introduce our comedians?
Yeah, we got 2 great comedians today. Megan Gailey is here. Say hi, Megan.
Woo! Hi, I unmuted.
We hear you fine.
And our first returning guest, Caleb Synan. Caleb Synan's
here.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Yes,
hell yeah. I'm the
king
of comedy.
Fan favorite, Caleb Synan, the man with the hats.
Yeah, dog.
Starting off our hat day. But now it's time for our celebrity guest.
May I do the honors?
You absolutely may. That's why I stopped talking.
I like that. My favorite part of the show is when you stop talking, Steve.
Oddly, mine too.
I am very excited to bring on a dear friend of mine and ours. You knew her for many years from the Adam Carolla show, and then she sprung off on her own and not only currently does the Childish podcast with Greg Fitzsimmons, but is best known as the host and creator of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend, an amazing twice weekly podcast. Please welcome Alison Rosen, everybody.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is super fun. I just set up my logo behind me because I've been inspired by Steve Hofstetter to do some branding.
Yes.
Going up backwards. Is it backwards for everyone or just when I see it?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. I'm having to learn. I was dead set against doing remotes on my podcast. I was proud of my decision, and turns out I can't hold to that. So I'm having to learn all sorts of stuff that I don't want to learn.
Well, the good news is, no matter what your decision is, you will be better at what you're doing than people who run major television networks, because holy shit, what the fuck are they doing?
Okay, are you talking
insane.
about like
Yes.
on CNN? Why do they use whatever they use? It is the worst advertisement for that, like WebEx or something. I'm like, just use Google Hangouts if you have to. It's going to be better.
Use a
quality
fucking
sucks.
paper cup if you need to. Whatever they're doing is very, very bad.
I know.
And also, I love, Alison, your attempt at branding is strong, but since you're covering the end of the word friend, it looks like Alison Rosen is your new best fry.
Maybe I decided to look, but look, wait, hang on. Let's say we're tired of that. I can also do this, and then you get the whole thing. Oh no!
Nice.
Yeah. And then I've even got another one.
That's Ricky.
Damn! Look at that.
This is like, advertisements for like the infinite dress. I'm dating myself with that, but it was a dress that you could tie like 13 different ways. I can do it all over here, but I mean, just as relates to me in my shows.
Yeah, I like the idea that eventually your screen is just going to be just pictures for your podcast, and you won't even be on it anymore.
Oh,
like
that is such. Yeah, but then I could choose one that I like and like cut out a mouth hole and just talk into it. That would be that's like the thing that I would see right before I'm murdered in my bedroom.
Right.
But I like
the old.
I've got great branding over here too. I've got a piece of paper that says New Zealish, so we're pretty excited about that. Got that, and a defunct presidential campaign. Hop on board, everybody! It's too late.
I do like that you saved the piece of paper from the Chris Rankin episode like a week and a half ago.
Yep.
You were like, "This is a souvenir. This is perfect."
I keep everything. Yeah. My girlfriend does not like it, but what can you do? Alison, you've been podcasting, so you are now having in guests remotely. How has the experience been? You digging it?
Digging it is not the word I would use. I'm tolerating it. It's getting better and better, I would say. Each time I'm learning a little more about, just like boring stuff, like, I need to be plugged directly into my router. And because the internet quality at the beginning was glitchy, and that was throwing me. I'm happy with the audio. Everyone's been recording themselves locally, so that's good. But it's just not. You guys know. Everyone watching this knows. It's you do feel like you spent time with a person, so that's great. At the same time, it is just not the same as being in person, and that is, I don't know. It's hard.
Everybody's recording themselves locally, and then you're emailing the file in, and your engineer is editing it together.
Yes, I just revealed my trade secret that I did not invent. Wow. That's how we're doing it, because that works if you're interviewing people who have their own podcasting equipment, and not everyone has that. Right. Yeah. So you know what? I'm getting the hang of it. It's going okay.
I think at this point, every person has their own podcasting equipment, right? Like that's something that's already happened.
Honestly, I think the people that don't have their own podcasting equipment, it's not that they don't have their own podcast. It's just that they were used to going into a studio.
Gotcha.
The people who are doing construction above Chris Bowers' room right now have their own podcast. Actually, it's,
exactly.
They just bang a lot. It's called the Weekly Bang. They just kind of do that a lot. It's the whole thing. It's an ASMR thing.
Subscribed. That sounds
Sorry to promote competition, Alison. I apologize.
Yeah, it's okay.
How's your quarantine?
Alison, sorry, go ahead.
How's your quarantine been? Are you going crazy? I know you've got babies.
I have a 3-year-old. I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old and a 6-year-old dog and a 46-year-old husband. And I do feel like I'm going crazy a little bit. At the beginning, I think I had this idea that as it went on, I would get better at it because I would get the hang of it, and it would just become kind of like, this is how we're doing this. And I'm finding, on the contrary, that it is becoming a little bit more difficult. But then today, I actually finally did something that a whole bunch of people have advised, which is I made out a schedule, and weirdly it is making me feel so much better. And it's just very basic stuff, like just a list of, what needs to happen, a lot of stuff with kids, and then a little box. And then I just put an X in the box.
Yes.
And I feel much more on top of things today. So I would, if anyone's not doing that and you feel like you are losing your mind, which is how I felt yesterday, I would advise a very simple schedule.
My girlfriend and I just did that for the. Go ahead.
I was just my first thing on my schedule was to make a schedule, so I felt very accomplished. And then I went back to bed.
My girlfriend and I just started doing a schedule for the first time. We made it last night for this morning, and a jam-packed day. And I have done almost none of it, but it feels so good to have it.
Well, so that's the question. Do you make your schedule more ambitious than you are, or is that just going to make you feel bad? Because right now ours just says like Elliot breakfast, Owen breakfast, Owen nap.
Nothing for you.
Nap, lunch. Yeah, no, there really was nothing for me. But when I figure you got to like ration out the activity. So I have not yet seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire or Parasite, so I'm thinking of putting those on the schedule. It's truly pathetic.
Yeah.
I've seen either or heard of one of those. What's Portrait of a Lady on Fire?
Oh, it also has, and this is where I answer, and it's clear that I don't really know. It also has subtitles, and I believe it has lesbianic themes. And
I'm back in
French. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Are those robot lesbians? What's lesbianic mean?
Yes, yeah. they're part human, part machine, all sapphic.
You ever see the Jetsons? It's Rosie falling in love.
I'm coming out of the circuit board, George.
Isn't it so weird that we're basically living in the dystopian science fiction future that was once imagined, and it is nothing. It's not glamorous, it's not elegant, it's not cool or neat. It's just, I find it, and I'm sorry to be a downer, I'll lift it up in a second. Like, it's just kind of oppressively mundane with dread involved.
Not to disagree, Alison, but I'm the exact opposite right now. Like I thought the apocalypse was going to be way worse. Like I thought it was going to be more death and zombies, and I mean the fact that I can still walk to the mall, walk around the mall like outside of it, but I mean I can still go outside. I'm not going to get eaten by anything. I mean, I got to stay in my house all the time, but I was doing that anyway. So I'm having a fun time. Honestly.
Really, for you, it's like cups half full.
Cups three. No, this is the most full my cup's ever been.
I don't know, Alison. Allison, if you watch, he'll probably empty his cup 4 to 5 times throughout the
episode. Small cup, same.
For me, it's cups half full. I really try to keep that perspective. Of course, I can't touch the cup on account of potential virus on the rim of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store yesterday for the first time in a couple of weeks. And I couple things. First of all, driving, it felt like people in their cars were still social distancing. Like everybody was leaving extra space between their cars, which felt a little weird. Like driving there, it almost seemed like people were going slower, more. I was like, guys, it's not attacking you through the window.
Well, they don't want anybody to honk on them.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, there were, like, most people in the grocery store were being super respectful, keeping their distance, wearing masks. And then there would be like 2 or 3 people who were just coming in and just getting in your space, like getting in your space in a way that was not okay before the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like just being too close and not wearing masks. And like, those are the people, I think if you don't wear a mask, we should be allowed to cough on you. I think that's the trade-off. That's how we get everybody to wear masks. I'm
in Burbank, and there's now an ordinance or rule, or I don't know the exact word, but it is a misdemeanor if you don't wear one. I don't know if anyone's actually going to be enforcing that, but
yeah,
I hope they do.
Same here. Yeah, same. I think it's in LA city limits as well. Like it is a ticketable offense if you don't do it. But then of course the cop has to come up to you. So
yeah, that is true.
I was at the grocery store yesterday, and the guy came in. There was a guy who just came in, and the guy was wiping off the shopping cart or whatever, and he's like, "Do you guys still charge 10 cents for bags?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You just stop doing that." I'm like, I think it's a California law, dude. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, by the way, the thing yesterday, like, because I brought my bags as like I'm used to doing, and then they were like, "Oh, you know, if you bring your bags from home, you have to bag your own groceries because we're not going to touch your shit." And I was like, "Totally understand, and I appreciate that."
Yeah.
And like, so that's of course they're going to charge you if you have to buy bags from them.
Yeah, I did an Instacart delivery today. My girlfriend and I did, and it just arrived a little later than we had hoped. So my girlfriend is literally decontaminating all the food items outside the front of the house right now before bringing them in, while I get to do funny stuff. So I'm being a terrible partner right now, but it's fine. It's a pretty good division of labor.
How are you guys all fixed for toilet paper?
Oh boy, running low.
Two rolls left. I started with like 8, and I've got 2 left, so I'm worried.
See, I did a thing. When this was all starting and like nobody in Florida gave a fuck because, you know, they're Florida. I reached out to a friend of mine in Florida and I was like, "Hey, is there still toilet paper at the grocery store?" She's like, "Yeah, of course. What are you talking about?" I go, "Mail me some." And
That's
so I
smart.
bought Florida toilet paper and just had it shipped to me. It took like a week, but it's fine. I got reserves now. I'm good.
That's really smart. I wonder if they still have some. They're still
just find the states where Trump won by the most. I'm sure the stores are fine.
My girlfriend had to go online in the deep recesses of the internet, found some Canadian website that was selling toilet paper. It has not arrived yet. I hope it's not a scam. We'll see.
The problem is the
Nigerian Prince toilet paper scam. $10,000 to get out of customs, and then I have 1,000 rolls of toilet paper. You're like, oh,
4 million rolls. We're getting 4 million rolls.
The market next to me actually has plenty. It's just they just sell them. It's like a small neighborhood market, and so they sell them like 1 roll at a time. So you're gonna pay a little extra for it, but it's there. Like you could just go to a gas station, go to a drugstore. Like they're fine. They're still there.
I still hope that my plan that worked for hand sanitizer early in this quarantine still works. It's just drive to a bad part of town where they have bigger concerns, and they should have in any liquor store, hopefully tons of toilet paper and hand sanitizer.
That's really smart. You guys are figuring out how to game the system. I'm just the idiot on Amazon. Like refresh. Okay. All right. I'll just hold it.
I love that. Like for mine, I was like, well, you know, there's a lot of people haven't panicked yet in certain parts of the country. I think that'll work. And Ben was like, you know what I'll take advantage of? Institutionalized racism. I think that'll work.
There's a balance because there's that, but there's also capitalism. I believe in capitalism, and so available for sale in that store. I'm free to walk in and buy it, unless that store's against Jews. Is that what the story is? Are Jews not allowed?
Well, not mine. I bought mine in Florida, so they're definitely fine with Jewish people.
Alison, I know you texted me that you have lockdown brain. Do you have an example of what your brain's been doing wrong? Because I have a pretty good one. I had to break the quarantine seal 2 days ago to bring my dog to the vet. He's fine now. Everything's fine. But I was not happy about that. And they're due pickup of the dog at the car. And I had to call in and tell them I was there. And she's like, "What kind of car are you in?" And I said, "Pontiac." And realized instantly I have not driven a Pontiac in 17 years.
Hilarious. That was amazing.
How about your brain?
I wish I had an example that was that good. I'm sorry. I'm distracted by the fact that I think a 3-year-old is trying to come into this room, or someone. Hi.
I hope it's yours.
We're about to be joined by a 3-year-old. Hi, honey. I'm on a show right now, so come over here real fast. Sorry about this, you guys.
I love that. Even like you were like, I'm on TV. I can't lie to my kid.
Here, look, Elliot. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey, Elliot.
What a cutie.
Say hi.
What's up, everybody? Watch your language. Okay, let's.
That's okay. He can't hear what you guys are saying because I have the headphones in.
Oh, nice. Oh, perfect. Oh, everybody, put your pants on.
There is no.
Yes, honey. What, Elliot?
Yeah. So we can just like say things that like a kid shouldn't hear.
Yes. Let it out now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Elliot, you were adopted.
smiling.
Like that joke.
Like, oh, I wish.
Elliot, it'll be very hard to make enough of a living that you have a comfortable savings going into your later years.
Funny, Elliot. He can't hear it.
We finally have started headphoning the parents. I like that. Earmuffing the parents. We've been earmuffing the parents now.
Yeah, that would actually be, I know we were going to do a different game, but I think a great game would be like, what is the thing what is the worst thing that we could say for a kid to not hear right now? Like, I think that would be
okay.
a hell of a game. Should we do that one?
With that. Yes, that's really funny.
All right, so the way the game works.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I had one come in, Superman, who's in our audience last game. We were doing food and people combinations, and he sent me one that was Danny DeVito's Locos Tacos, and I think that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That is almost as good as, what was yours, Ben? Beyond, what was it?
It was, okay, it was Beyond Cedar Altaino.
Yeah, that's I forgot it because it was too good. So my apologies. But so the game this time, the way it works,
just messed up that one. Hold on a second. Bowers completely fudged the hilarious Danny DeVito one. That was not what it was. It was Danny Cool Ranch DeVito's.
Yeah, he gave me two. I thought the Tacos Locos was funnier, but yeah, he gave me two.
No, not at
Cool
all.
Ranch
No, you
DeVito's.
messed it up. Nope.
Cool Ranch DeVito's, I do think is funnier, although the tacos one has more direct application to Bowers' life, so I understand that way. But okay, so the game, everybody. If you want to play, watching from Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, whatever you're watching from, or if you're right here in the front row with us, just give us your answer, or you can throw in $5 on the super chat or Venmo at the top right of the screen, or PayPal at laughfromhome.com, and then your entry will be entered to win. We'll decide at the end of the episode, and we'll read all those out, and your entry will be entered to win a copy of all the albums from our hosts, as well as a future ticket to the front row to join us. And so the game is, what is the worst thing that we can say that it would be horrible for a child to hear right now? So what should we not say to a child? That is the game. This one's going to be interesting. So can't wait. Okay. With that said, should we, you know what, let's read a couple of chats that are coming in, and then we'll have our first comic. So Jordana S threw in $50 on Venmo. Thank you very much, Jordana. And said, Steve, keep being you. You teach me every day. Drinking was okay because I stopped. You really taught me how to be a better creative. You helped me. Thank you very much, Jordana. Stay strong, whether you're a day in or 20 years in. Appreciate you. We know it's a struggle. Thank you very much. Queen Rachel, what do we got in the super chat?
We do. We've got quite a few things coming in. We have the Joshua gave $10 and said, has the COVID virus now changed the time?
Yeah, ours kept saying that this show started at 7, so we just figured we'd fuck with him completely. But yeah, we're doing we're playing around with time, trying something different on this one, and see if it works, see if our numbers go up or down. We're trying to figure out, because we play to people all over the world, and I know that on the 5 o'clock it's really difficult for like the UK and the Europe people, so it's nice to have an earlier one every so often. I also like that it's called the Kofeve virus now. So I appreciate
that. We have Wasatch Traveler gave $5 and said Alison Rosen for president.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Ben is right here. That is so mean.
Ben, maybe she'll make you her vice, like happens sometimes when people lose the race. They're just really running for vice.
Oh, I'll take whatever I can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All good. Everything's fine.
It's too bad you didn't make Ben Glebe toilet paper for 2020 for your campaign. You'd
God,
a garage full of that. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That would have been great.
I want to have a yard sign that just says hindsight 2020.
I like that.
What else we got, Rich?
Yep, we've got, so Jordan gave 4 different times now and has given $115.
Well, Jordan.
Yes.
a couple of his comments. He says, I've never met Steve. I've never met Alison. I've never read The Ginger Kid, but holy moly, all of these they're super incredible. So please, I trust you to make a few people smile. Steve, I want to see your show. Chris, stop letting Steve, just let him be cool. Thanks, Alison.
I don't know if that was criticizing what I say to Bowers or vice versa, but you're right either way.
And I don't know how I was left completely out of that. It was our guest and the other two hosts. What did I do wrong? Trying to help
And you were busy running for vice president.
I guess.
By the way, I gotta say, I got into a Zoom chat. We're playing categories a couple nights ago with some friends, and I was in show mode. And like somebody said something, I just ripped into them, and they're like, "What?" And they got mad and left. I'm like, "Oh fuck! I've been hanging out with comics being mean all day. I can't go back to being a regular person. This is terrible." I literally had to call her. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm in show mode where I make fun of my friends. I didn't realize I was gonna hurt your feelings.
Here's what you have to do:
honestly,
make sure. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say I don't get hurt at all when I get left out of the comments. I seem to appreciate everybody else. It's totally fine.
The Purell bottles with like Goldschlager or some shit.
All right. Well, Jordan, we appreciate you. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us. Rach, what else we got?
Yeah, just a couple more times. So he gave $5 more, and Jordan says, guys, any small message, even if it's not cash, holy moly, let's show the world we'll get through this. I'm about to marry a girl. Let's smile.
That's
super
cool.
cute.
Yeah, that is awesome. We hope it is not a public ceremony. Stay home. So just have a very nice Zoom wedding. And the best part of that is you can mute your family.
Yep.
All right.
And then Carrie Jo gave $5 and said, thanks for giving this quarantine pregnant lady something to laugh about during such worrisome times. Much love.
Well, thank you
That's
very much.
really
And
sweet.
obviously you need to name your baby Allison.
Yes, boy or girl.
Yeah.
And also, it might sound really great that you can have a meal with your family and mute them until you do it like I did. And I end up not being able to talk most of the time.
Yeah.
I would say a Zoom wedding will be super cheap, and a Zoom honeymoon's even cheaper. So you can get married for almost nothing right now. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
You can go to
change
any
your
of Steve
background.
Hofstadter's tropical backgrounds.
Yeah, like the moon.
You
Go to
can
the-
honeymoon in Jamie Kennedy's bone broth.
Yeah, you can. This wedding brought to you by Jamie Kennedy's Bone Broth. Show sponsor. All right, let's have a comedian.
Let's have a comic. All right, so our first comic tonight is amazing. You've seen her on the Tonight Show. She also has a podcast called The Greatest. Give it up for Megan Gailey, everybody. Megan Gailey.
Hi. Hello, quarantine cuties. Oh, I need a microphone. Shit. Okay, this is a candle. It's never been used either. So I'm in my living room. That's my grandmother's butt. She painted that. It's called Self-Portrait. And there you go. She's dead, so don't look her up. Oh God, I forgot that the last little delayed. I'm just gonna sound like a woman having a full manic breakdown. And then behind me, that's my Peloton. So I'm fucking Marie. I'm Marie Antoinette. Who knew? I'm doing okay. How has my look advanced? You know, I've always dressed like a woman who went through a recent trauma. That's always kind of been my vibe. Like even at 13, people were like, is she a widow? A lot of like cashmere and Thoreau. People have been telling me I have a lot of voted for Bloomberg energy. Feels hurtful. Yeah, I just got married like not a long time ago, and you have to get in really good shape before you get married. That's like a rule that we've created as a society. And so now I'm just hot for no reason. I just got really jacked for my wedding and to sit inside. you do all these special things. Like I got a Brazilian wax for my wedding, and it's like, why did my asshole need to do black tie? Seems like that was unnecessary. It's counterintuitive. It's like you got to get in the best shape of your life to have sex with the same person forever. Like, make any sense? That's like renovating a house and then never throwing a party. Like if I get a pool, I'm inviting some friends over. I have abs. I would like to fuck a fireman. Okay. It's so embarrassing because my husband's just in the other room. Like, what the fuck? I know. Every time I'm on a Zoom show, I wear makeup, so he does support my career. Yeah, now that we're married, everybody wants us to have a baby, and especially since we're trapped inside together, they're like, you should make a quarantine baby. You should make a quarantine baby. And it's like, fuck you. The last thing I want to do is get sober right now. I'm insane. I don't want to make a quarantine baby. Oh, and we're an interracial couple, and so people like really want us to have a baby. Like when it's two white people, they're like, you should have a baby. When it's an interracial couple, they're like, we will watch you fuck. Like that's how into it they are. My husband is Filipino, and I'm Megan. So that's a lot for people. Sometimes people get really excited when they see us. They're like, it's like, okay, you're a Democrat. Sometimes people get very confused when they see us. You know, Asian man, white woman. That's what I call a new twist on an old classic. The old reverse San Francisco, if you follow it. Because that people really want us to have a baby, like so bad. I mean, they're not even like hiding it anymore. Like my mom can't wait to spice up this Christmas card, you know, like she is so into it. So into every time I go home, she's just like, I loved Moana. My husband is like hella Filipino. He drives a Nissan Q. So we live in LA, so I gotta fight bitches off of him all the time. Sometimes I'll tell people that, and they're like, "Oh, is that what the DJ hamsters come out of?" I'm like, "That's a Kia Soul, you racist piece of shit." Okay, I think that's all I want to do today. Thank you guys so much. I'm no one's fucking around. I promise.
As always, the tip jar is open. We'll get back to Bowers in a sec. The tip jar is open. If you enjoyed Megan's set, I know some tips have already come in, but if you enjoyed Megan's set, show her. You can Venmo top right of the screen. You can PayPal laughfromhome.com, and of course, you can super chat. We already have a $20 tip that came in from Justin Stoltz. Said Megan's words are the best. So thank you very much, Justin.
Yes.
Much appreciated, and we got some more coming in. So throw in those tips.
Megan, I think in a minute you can light that candle and tell us a ghost story.
That was such a great set, Megan.
Oh, thank you. I never knew all my unlit candles would come in handy, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Here we are.
I love
really good.
your stuff about getting in great shape to get married. I've never understood not only that, but then married couples put tons of pictures of their wedding day around their house. They're just displaying the best they will ever look.
And then my mom had a picture of her and my dad in her office, and a coworker once was like, "What happened to him?" Like they did not know it was my dad. She was like, "That's Jeff. That's just different Jeff."
It is true though that like the best you'll ever look is right before your wedding and right after your divorce.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I've always thought, I think it's funny we spend all this money on a wedding because it's like the biggest thing that haunts couples is finances, right? So you're like, hey, how about this? How about this? Right, I love you, you love me. So how about before we spend the rest of our money, rest of our life together, we spend all of our money, all of it, all of it. Let's go $15,000 in debt. You'll be a princess. It'll be amazing. And then you start the whole. Or even if you put that 40 grand, if you put that 40 grand and put it in the bank and didn't have a wedding, then you know how much happier you'd be if you could just fucking go to Hawaii whenever you got in a fight. I mean, it'd be great.
That's also why Bowers has never spent more than like $5,000 on a wedding, and that's why he's been married like 30 times.
I've actually been married twice. I spent 30 grand on both weddings, and that's why it didn't work out because we were broke the whole fucking time.
And that's why his decor is from a comedy club green room.
And we just got a funny comment in the chat from Taylor Rechka saying, "I'm a wedding photographer. Don't ruin this for me, Bowers."
Yeah, true.
Oh, sorry.
That is also true, by the way, that when you like, if you go to rent a hall, be like, "Oh, what's this for?" Just be like, "Oh, this is just my friends and I getting together for a party." Be like, "Oh, great. Well, it's $1,000 to rent it for the day." Be like, "Awesome." Be like, what about for a wedding? Oh, same hall for a wedding, $40,000. Like, it's insane. They just gouge you because they know that you have to pay it.
Someone told me when we were venue shopping, don't tell them it's for a wedding, tell them it's for something else. Which,
absolutely.
To your point, but then how do you actually pull that off? Because
they know.
Realize. Yeah.
Oh, no. It's a play. You're doing Tony and Tina's wedding.
We've changed the names. Yes, they are our names, but that's just cool. It's an artist choice, coincidence.
It's a satire. Or you get them to tell you the price first, then you go, great, it's for a wedding, and then see if they are willing to do that right then. Like, see if you can get the contract signed. But
Carrie,
we do, by the way.
Carrie M suggested that you just tell them it's a quinceañera, and then they show up and people just seem older.
We do want to shout out a couple people in our front row here. We've got Jane Stewart, Michael Stewart. We've got Megan. We've got Carrie. Thanks for joining us there in the front row. And I know we've got some chats coming in, so we're gonna get to a couple of those real quick. So Megan Smith throws in $10 and says, "Megan, you rock." So from a fellow Megan to a fellow Megan.
Thank you.
Tyler Stevens, frequent supporter of the show, much appreciated. $2.50. It says, "For Megan, thanks for the set. Good laughs." What's coming in over on YouTube, Rach?
Yeah, so we've got lots of comments and emojis coming in on YouTube. We've got Scuba Hannah said, "Megan, you're hilarious." Michael Stewart, "Oh my God, she's killing this." Crashers, great job. Let me see what else is on. Yeah, Facebook, a lot of comments. Just, "You're awesome."
If you're interested in being, by the way, part of our front row, you can get tickets to that at laughfromhome.com, because as always, the Social Distancing Social Club is filmed before a live video audience.
We've also got some generals coming in over on Venmo. So Christina Rockwood threw in $10, says, "Thanks for the sorely needed laughs. Depression has hit me pretty hard with everything happening, and this helps more than you know. We're happy to be there for you, Christina. Thank you very much." Selena Castleman throws in $10 and says, "This is the closest I can get to a Steve Hofstetter show until after July." Thank you, Selena. Not true. Come see me at the Nowhere Comedy Club. We're live streaming entire shows. My next one is Monday. And then Preeti Krishnamurthy, Venmo's $5. Thanks for all the laughs, Steve. I'm also glad that I'm the one who is reading that name and not Rachel. So.
And do you mean Steve or their name?
It's the be like Stove Venmos us $5.
Rachel, are there any other comments you want to share with us from Yo Atube?
I do, actually. Razor tipped Megan $5 and said, "For Megan to have some balloons," and then he put in parentheses how I pronounce balloons. Yeah, thanks for that.
Glutes? You say galoots?
Balut, it's an Asian, isn't it? The chicken and the egg.
See,
Right?
These
The
are still things
parsley.
I'm learning. These are. My mother-in-law made me a fake Louis Vuitton face mask, and everyone's like, "Where do you get that?" And I'm like, "You got to have an Asian mother-in-law."
Was that real or or knockoff Louis Vuitton face mask?
It was knockoff. It's fake. It's a fake fabric, and when you touch it, you can tell.
Also, by the way, don't touch someone's face mask. If you could. By the way, we have another Venmo coming in from show supporter Savannah Martin. Throws in $21.47 and says, for Megan. I enjoy this. Savannah gives a random amount every time. It's the best.
Love it.
Yeah, and do we have more on the YouTube coming in, Rach?
We do. We've got some general stuff coming in. So Jordan gave $5 and said, "This is for Elliot." Aww.
Aww.
Very cute.
Aww.
We had Revel give $5 and said Carrie Jo should name her baby Furiosa.
So
because we had said Carrie before super chatted and said and you said to name her baby Alison, and so now he's saying no, name her baby Furiosa.
Got it. All right. I was very confused. I was confused at the level of like a Ben Glebe food pun. Like that's how confused I was.
Whatever, bro. Let me just say, I'm on after the show going to be furiously eating some ice cream.
Can I hear an example of one of these Ben Glebe food puns, or was that one?
They were better than that. So we were doing celebrities who are also foods, or putting foods into celebrity names.
And let's just give her a couple examples of ones that worked.
Sure.
Like we were doing ice cream at first, so we were doing like and we were doing wrestlers with ice cream. So it was like Rocky Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan does. And so stuff like that, like stuff you would, understand what we were doing.
Right.
Yeah. But sorry, continue, Ben. My apologies.
Well, so I came up with some great ones, kind of like chew berries more. Chocolate.
Literally his best one, by the way.
Doctor, fill up your stomach with pie. Stuff like that.
Why are we doing this again? Well,
another chance. I want a fresh audience.
What the?
They just wrote in and took back their tips. They wanted back.
Alison, on the episode that we did that, someone literally sent us a Venmo money request.
Now, Steve, what's funny about yours, Steve, is I just got Hulk Hogan Doss because you kept saying Hagen Doss, and I didn't get it. I didn't get till you just right there. Hulk Hogan Doss is very funny. I didn't get that 2 days ago.
Yes, you did say it wrong the first time. Sometimes yours are bad too, Steve.
Yeah, you know what? It's true. Yeah, there was once where I tried to do one that said my most ridiculous one was Beyonce Dar Acai Knowles, right? Was that mine or was that Ben's? I forget.
You're breaking up, Steve. You're breaking up.
Are we ready to let Megan go and get another comic on here? Is that what we're going to do? Funny stuff?
Yeah, but we'll do that. And before we do the next set, though, we should remind people what the game is.
Okay, so the game is what's something you can't say to a child you wouldn't want to tell them. So with Alison had her headphones in, her kid's in her lap, so he can't hear her, so we're whispering things in her ear she could never say to a kid. What were those things be? $5 in the super chat or the Venmo to be part of the contest.
What shouldn't you say to a child right now? Not what can you never say. What shouldn't you say to a child right now? What would be inappropriate for them to hear? Obviously skip the terrible things and make it clever. And also, Megan, by the way, you're of course welcome to stay, but if you got to go, we understand. You might want to leave on a high note.
I probably have to go have a fight with my husband now.
Smart.
He's taking the fireman exam. He's taking the fireman exam right now as we speak.
God, you beat me there, Bowers, son of a bitch.
Firemen are knocking at the door.
Yeah.
So, Megan, what are your handles? How do we find you on social media and such?
My Twitter is at Megan Gailey, MEGANGAILEY, and then my Instagram is that same thing, but it's at Better Megan Gailey because there was a Megan Gailey and I needed to send her a message.
Nice. And Megan, before you go, another tip just came in from Jane Stewart. threw in $5 on the Venmo and said, I need to see this face mask awesome set.
Oh, I'll post. Follow me. It's on my Instagram.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you guys. Go
Thanks
Kate.
so much.
Thank you.
Great set, Megan.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right, here's our returning champion, our first return guest. He had so much fun. We had so much fun with him. We wanted to bring him back. You've seen him on Comedy Central and Conan. Give it up for Caleb Synan, everybody. One more time, Caleb Synan.
Yeah, hell yeah. Returning champ. They call me the Dat fan of comedy. That's a name I gave myself. And I'm hoping it'll catch on. I don't think I owe him anything. And hey, I am a prop. I will be changing hats after every joke. It's just a thing I do. It has nothing to do with the joke. I did it last time. 2 acts. I'm not happy about it, and neither is anybody else. But okay. So I've been watching every movie there is, and I got down to Mr. Mom. I didn't know when it would happen. I knew it would happen. I watched Mr. Mom. I think I laughed. It made me laugh more than I ever knew I could. Anybody out there, if you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. Here's the plot. And it's a plot good for 90 minutes of laughs. And the plot is, what if a dad raised his kids? It's enough to make you laugh for a day straight. It's a horrible idea.
Oh my God.
It's the best comedy ever made. It's that's how simple a plot can be in the 80s. Oh, what if a man changed a diaper? That's the whole 45 minutes of it. My dad is he is online. He's extremely online now. He's on every platform. He messaged me, thanks for watching today. And I think he copied and pasted it. I think he thinks I'm a fan now. I can't get rid of it. He's big into memes. He asked me if I'd heard of them today. Have you heard of memes? My dad said. I forgot to change my hat. I said, yes, Dad, I've heard of memes. And he shared one today, and it said, kids today got iPads. When I was growing up, we had coloring books. Share if you agree. And I said, Dad, calm the fuck down. It is 7:30 in the morning, and you are this mad at inventions. And you posted it from your iPad, dickhead. You can't post it. Try to post it from a coloring book next time. See how it goes. Drink out of the hose. People always want to one-up each other with how old they are. That's boomer online is all about. Do you remember? I can still remember. It's always that, and people get mad. You'd be 6 months old, and somebody else would be like, "You had a coloring book. All we had was our dead brother to play with growing up, and we were happy to have him." I don't find this relatable. Now the government come take your dead brother away. You got nothing to play with. You're like, well, this is getting. I don't remember reading about that. So I went outside today. I had to get some toilet paper and alcohol, and I went there. Saw an ugly baby, and people see him a lot. But this baby had a mask on, so he was ugly from the back, and that is unique. See him go, hate to see him alive. That's what I think of babies. If the back of your baby's head is ugly, maybe it is throw it out. That's my opinion. But, so yeah, I've been hearing there's porn going around, and so people are watching it online. And there's too much. There's porn. There's a whole genre where women are stuck under a table. And I don't want to kink shame anybody, but if you like that, I'm calling the police. But you're up to something. I like when they can't get away. That's a problem. So don't do it. I'm not a fan of that. This is fun. This happened the other day. So I had a promise ring growing up. I was a promise ring kid. And if you don't know what a promise ring is, it's where you're just having fun being 12 one day, and your parents come in your room and go, here's a ring, don't fuck anybody. And you're like, this is a lot. And they go, we'll never explain it further. And so you got a ring and a mystery. It's a great way to get pregnant. So I had mine, and we went to the beach that year for vacation. And when I went into the water, I don't know what happened to it. It must have blown away off of the towel, or someone stole it. So my mom sees it's missing. She goes, hey, where's your promise ring? And I said, oh, I lost it at the beach. And she cried. She began to cry a lot. And I was like, no, I don't mean lost. I mean misplaced lost. Like I didn't, do the thing you never explained to me. So she calmed down, but how confident of a 12-year-old did she think I was that when she asked me, I go, yeah, ma, I got laid at the beach. Like, I'm not that cool. So I told one of my friends about this, and he was like, that's a good story. Tell it on stage. So I texted it to myself. Like, whenever I think of a joke, I just text it to myself. So I don't forget, just some keywords to my own phone number. But I was drunk, and I texted it to my mom. So at 3 a.m., I texted my mom, lost virginity at the beach. So she just thinks it finally happened, and I just had to let her know. All she texted me back was K. She sent me 1K and was not impressed. So it's been a wonderful quarantine. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm out of hats, and I love you. Thanks for
Caleb signing, everybody. Caleb signing. All right. I see some tips already coming in. Tip jar is open. Venmo at the top right of the screen, or you could super chat us on YouTube. And of course, you can PayPal us at laughfromhome.com. Selena Castleman threw in $5 and said that I feel like the dead brother joke is something you shouldn't tell a kid, but it's pure gold. So Caleb accidentally entered the contest, which is awesome.
Dude, that's why I'm the DAP fan, dog. You can't keep me down.
Yeah.
New DAP fan.
We got some coming in, Rich. What do we got on YouTube?
We do. So first for Caleb, I've got my hat.
Nice.
We've got some comments coming in on Facebook. Rachel Ruth McClose, Otterstetter, these names. He looks like a country Josh Groban. Wildly accurate.
Wow. Boy, I thought my brand was a little more elusive than that, but she got it in first guess.
We had Shelly comment that Clinton and Gore hat. I want it. I love it.
Nice. We also had Ellen Shaw comment on the. Ellen Shaw threw in $10 on the Venmo and said, "In my day, we didn't lose our virginity. We just exchanged hats." Nicely done.
Well, I don't even have to write my own tag. I'm just taking all this shit.
Yeah. Right,
so I think I've always thought that Caleb's brand was a slightly more attractive Dave Waite. Anybody else think that?
All right. Hell yeah. It is.
Oh,
yeah.
And Tyler Stevens threw in another $250 and says, "For Caleb, that was glorious and very fitting hat for the promise ring joke."
Yeah. I try to
Nicely
match
done. Yeah. We also had $10 from Megan Smith. Says, "Great set." So awesome.
Hell yeah.
We had some generals come in. We had Revel give $20 and says he has to head out shortly, but I love you guys. Stay awesome.
Thank you, Revel.
We had Jason Moody give 250 stars on Facebook. I don't know what the equivalent of that is.
They're about a penny a piece. That's like $2.50.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. He said, "Thanks so much for the entertainment. I'm here in Northeastern Ohio over the past few days. Has been a drain, obviously, with the damn virus. And then 70 degrees and then a tornado. And then this morning, there was a couple of inches of snow on the ground. You all are hilarious and amazing. Thanks for doing this."
Hell yeah.
You could have just said Ohio.
Yeah. Ohio's the worst. We had Becky Lynn from Ohio. I can say that.
It's
Yeah, Rachel's
she's
from
Ohio,
Ohio,
and
I'm
she's
from
kidding.
Ohio.
Ohio, don't cancel us, please. You're a swing state. We need you.
I also love how people always think they can make fun of the place that they know the best. That really is like the biggest insult. It's like, I know this place very well. It's a shithole. The stereotype. It's like, no, on good authority. Terrible place.
Yeah. We also have some generals coming in. We've got Mark Mitchell threw in $20 and says, thanks for making us laugh. Thank you much, Mark. Ethan McConnell threw in $10. Says, big fan of Steve on Instagram. Just saw this and it added an uplift to the day. Thanks. Well, thank you, Ethan. I appreciate that. And then Savannah Martin threw in $20.96 for Caleb and says, my promise ring brethren. So thank you much, Savannah.
Hell yeah. I still got mine, Savannah.
I did not have a promise ring. My parents just knew I wasn't going to have sex. They were like, yeah, you don't need jewelry. They're like, all the women in your high school promised. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, for my high school graduation, my dad gave me a box of condoms as a gag gift. I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Hopefully he didn't mean gag the other way. You know?
Yeah.
That in the context.
It's a gag gift, boy. Oh shit, sorry.
We had Becky Lynn tip Caleb $25 and said, here's some cash for a new hat once this quarantine is over.
Nice.
Yeah.
We
I don't
also
get a
have
tiara, dude.
See? I'll mail you mine.
Oh, thank you.
We had, okay, so there's this person in YouTube that has a ridiculously long name and people want me to try and pronounce it. So I had 2 people super chat on behalf of this person to get me to try and pronounce it. So Chris Jacobs donated $2.
Oh, I thought Chris Jacobs was the name. I'm like, that's an easy one.
Oh.
By the way, I thought the same thing.
Great,
I swear to God, I thought the same thing. I thought you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
give me a little
turns
credit.
out that guy's name is Joe Smith, which is weird. So
So I get 2 shots at this name, all right? So
all right.
his first name's Ben, which is great. So easy. Last name is Virgil Bergen. I don't think I got it right. So then Jeremy H gave us $5 and said, I want to try to hear you say it, Rachel. It's Ben. And then they said, when you get to the G, act as if you're choking. So I'm going to try that now. Ben,
What?
he's Dutch. Ben Virgil Bergen. I think that's right. I think I nailed it.
That's
I
how
was
you
just
choke?
afraid. I was just afraid they thought that this was a fetish site. It was like, oh man, how much to get a woman to choke on a Dutch name? Is that extra?
To get that, how much you get that Bowers guy to choke on his dad's condom?
I was just afraid when Rachel had to pretend she was choking, she was going to have an orgasm. That would have been. I don't know what she's
All
into.
right.
I don't know.
And by the way, Ben, you'll be happy to hear that Jan Johnson kicked in on the PayPal, said, for Ben, I love your comedy. And then it was $4.20. So
Yes.
it's perfectly appropriate tip.
Thank you very much. 420 is coming up at sometime in the next weeks or a month or 2. I've lost track, but I'm excited.
Yeah, it's well, it's 4:10 today, so that means it's like a week away.
Yeah.
Yep.
The quarantine
It's
week is 10 days.
April.
It's like dog years. It's like dog years.
Look, the good news is that it's always April 20th somewhere. You know?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
So-
this whole month is 420.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh, shit. That is some good shit right there.
It's ours.
And Rosen is my new best friend.
That is the
What?
perfect like
Holy-
stoner thing to say to a stoner on 420. Like
Yeah.
that'll blow their fucking mind. That's incredible.
It's gonna be so
No,
upset. They'll be
no,
like,
no.
I've squandered 20 days.
Yeah, they'll be mad
Yeah.
they missed 20 days. I'm gonna tell people right now. I've already lost 10 of them. God damn it! I can't. What?
Allison, with the stressful situation in your homestead, are you ever indulging in any smokes or any edibles? Or are you drinking cocktails? Or are you just keeping it straight up on baby Gerber food or whatever?
Yeah, I have not partaken of anything. However, I have, and I'm not a big pot. I used to smoke pot, but I haven't really been into it in years. Although occasionally I go on Getting Doug with high, and then I will get high. But I have found myself thinking, just like one puff would be good to get through the. And I love them, but the childcare is just around the clock, the clock, which is what you sign up for when you have them. But we normally have, babysitters, and we have none of that now. So it's like my husband and I are both working and also taking care of them. And I do think that being in my right mind is not helping me.
Look,
That is,
I don't
by
have
the
a ton
way-
of parenting experience, but I do have experience being stoned, and I've been around kids when stoned, but I'm not the sole caregiver. And I'll say this, it makes them really a lot more funny and interesting, and every little annoying thing, you're like, oh, I can try to figure out how to get inside the mind of this little creature. It might make it wonderful for you.
Maybe I should try it. Then again, though, I feel like when I used to smoke pot, it would make time slow down, and I don't need that right now.
I heard that.
Also, by the way, if anybody wants to throw us a couple extra bucks to the Venmo, we'll send you a copy of Ben Gleib's book on parenting. The first chapter of which is It's Better Stoned.
And the book ends after one chapter. I was legally required to stop.
Yeah. Nicely done, Ben. By the way, we also have a couple of tips came in. Ellen Shaw threw another $5, says for Allison, who just blew all our minds.
Oh,
And Selena Castleman threw in $2.50 and said, and I hope that this was sent before Allison said her thing, and said, someone please tell Ben it's 420 the entire month. If you sent that afterward, that is the most stoned comment we've ever had.
Guys, also sorry to cut you off, Steve, but just wanted a quick announcement. Just realized this whole month it's 420.
What? That's only because this whole month time is standing still. So
Better believe it.
we also have a Venmo from wants to be anonymous but says thanks from DC and throws in $15. Well, thanks to DC. So thank you very much for doing that. Rachel, we got
and also one last thing I just wanted to say real quick, Steve. Just one last thing I wanted to say is that I don't know if you're high at home right now, but I'm a dog now, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's really crazy. All month long, I'm a dog.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe Ben would be good with kids. We don't know. So, all right.
One of the things that'll come out of this whole pandemic, because we're at to pass this time, is like I've been on diets before. Like when I lost like 70 pounds a couple years ago. But like when you're on a diet, it's a lot like being a heroin addict. I think we're gonna have more empathy for addicts because like you got to kill time doing something. So you're like, okay, watch TV. Oh, TV sucks. Take a walk. No, walking sucks. Fuck. What are we doing? Like it's just every moment is like not doing heroin or not eating food. That's what we're all doing right now. We're all going through this, and it's like you got to figure out how to do it. So I think we'll have everything for people that are addicts after this. I guess.
Bowers, there is a trick that some of us do, which is work. So now Jordana S throws in another $10 and says, I don't think Ben's book exists, but get him to write the damn thing. I'll expect my copy. So Ben, you just got a book advance. It's $10.
Yes.
So
parenting for non-parents.
Yeah, so that would actually be an amazing book.
So,
anyway, just a reminder of the game because we're gonna get to the game entries pretty soon. So if you're gonna throw in a last minute one, you can do a paid one or you can do a free one. Of course, the paid ones are eligible to win. So the game is what should we not say in front of a child? So think of something funny, not just something horrible. We know that we run a risk there with this game. We're gonna pick a funny one. But throw your entries in while we still have some time. Rach, do we have any other comments coming in?
We do. So we've got a couple tips for Caleb. Jordan gave $5 and said, "Yep, we've got this. Caleb, I'm scared of your buying habits, that you have that many hats. Otherwise, keep it up." And then Sean Chandler tipped $5 and said, "I would have had issues with a promise ring in high school. I was 13 when that was misplaced."
Ooh.
And by the way, I love the idea.
Little humble brag for $5.
Yeah.
Nice work.
I like the idea that people are like, well, I want to tip Caleb, but he's just going to spend it on hats.
It's like in Hot Shots. Remember that scene in Hot Shots where Charlie Sheen's partner dies and he brings all his life savings and the wife goes, "Well, with the $1 million settlement we got from the Navy, I'll probably just spend all this money on hats." Sorry, that was bad.
That's my career.
Nope.
These hats are all I got.
No, I think it was great. I think it was great that you were like, here's a different version of the same joke that doesn't apply as much. I think that was.
I'm saying
solid.
you were making a reference to a movie that I made. And again, it was bad. I agree, it was bad. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm not Ben.
No, I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. Should I go in the penalty box?
No, Bowers. I'm going to
I
appreciate it.
I'm muting for one.
Yeah. He kept talking after he muted. Also, I love that I made the joke, and then Bowers was like, Steve and his reference to the movie Hot Shots, always walking around referencing Hot Shots like we all do. You know the movie Hot Shots, right? That movie everybody's seen for sure.
I love that he just quarantined himself within the quarantine, yet really not, because the main thing he brings to the show is those stupid jackets anyway. We still got to see that shit. Can we come back to it?
I've been sitting here wondering if in past shows you guys have already busted on the jackets and what the story is.
Yeah. That's a very good question, because it would make no sense for us to have ignored that unless we've already talked about that a great deal. So, Allison, very good call.
No, I wear a tuxedo every day, Allison. I just have been. I like them, and I think it makes me unique, and it's a thing. And so I
you should see Allison's eyes right there. Allison's eyes literally.
I went like this.
It's also, by the way, Allison, now in the quarantine, as he cycles through and goes to the next jacket, it's how we tell time. So
we have that.
Have you been getting dressed up, or have you been going robe and sweatpants life?
Me?
Yeah.
I have been pretty dressed down. I am currently wearing a bra, and that's just because I respect you guys. But I mean,
thank you.
When I put it on, it's just sort of like, oh my God, what is the point really? And I have like exercise pants on from the waist down, and I'm wearing slippers. So yeah, I'm keeping it classy over here.
Nice.
I'm also not wearing a bra because I respect you guys. So same.
I am wearing a bra.
Well, the tuxedos show all they're very unforgiving, so you got to.
And he's wearing a bra not for respect or not for respect, it's just he needs the support.
Well, yeah.
Necessity.
So, all right. And by the way, Savannah Martin just super chatted. I assume this is about us making fun of Bowers and said, "Leave my man's alone," with capital letters on alone. Much appreciated.
Savannah Martin graduate. Savannah Martin graduate.
That reference was almost as good as the Hot Shots one. You guys are really killing it with current. So, yeah, hey, anybody here get all their entertainment done in the late 90s? Then you'll get some
I don't know,
jokes.
but in case you did get all yours done in late 90s, straight up, now tell us in the comments.
Caleb killed so hard with his joke about Mr. Mom. I thought old movies were the thing. I didn't realize. I fucking killed it. I was inspired by Caleb. I don't have the chops that he has. I can't make it as funny as he did.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because the premise of Hot Shots being a comedy was that women can be pilots. So,
Allison, what is your
similar?
Yes, similar idea for sure. Allison, what are your favorite movie vibes? Like, do you have a top 5 movie list, and are any of them 90s movies?
Ooh. I do not. Clearly, I don't have my top 5 movie list ready to go. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is on there, and that's not a 90s movie. What was
Very
that?
good one.
Early 2000s. You know
Parts
what
of
movie
it flashed back to the 90s.
You know what movie I really liked, which was probably before the 90s, was The Sure Thing. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh, that's a great movie. That's a John Cusack movie.
Yeah, John Cusack and Carrie. Anthony? I forget. Anthony, what's his last name? Or is it Carrie Elways? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it's so good. Everyone go see it.
It's very
in
funny.
The theater now.
There's a joke in it.
I did have a couple of dates back in college that I was told were sure things, and that was a lie.
Oh, really? Well,
didn't work out.
This movie is kind of about that. John Cusack is at a college on the East Coast, and he's told that if he drives all the way out to the West Coast, there's played by Nicolette Sheridan, there's a sure thing for him there. So he embarks on this whole cross-country journey, and it's very funny and sweet.
It's definitely a pre-Tinder movie for sure.
Yeah. And
he swiped left all the way across the country.
I also, similarly from that time, I love Real Genius.
Yes, love that movie.
Great, excellent.
And I need time to think of my other 2.
That's all right. We got some time. Reading some more comments here. So Jan Johnson PayPal'd us another $4.20 and says just a thank you to Bowers for wearing a bra. So much appreciated. Tyler Stevens throws in $12.50 and then says another awesome show. How will we know if the time changed from 5 p.m. Pacific? Don't worry, this is right now a one-time thing. If we do change the time later on, we'll let you know. But for now, we are still 5 p.m. Pacific every single day of the week, except if it is a Monday or a Thursday, and we are not on those days, except sometimes. So it's very easy to keep track of.
We're going to put that on the poster. We are every day of the week, except Mondays and Thursdays, usually 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, except the occasional 3:30, at which time the show is at 3:30.
Yes. We also are doing a special episode where we're just going to make Hot Shot references. So look out for that. Just the whole thing.
These legs go all the way up.
So we have a bunch of comments on the live video audience here at our front row. So Carrie M says Dan Bowers looks attractive AF. I think that's a reference to your bra. And then Jane Stewart says that Bowers' Pac-Man jacket was the best, Allison. So unfortunately, you missed Pac-Man Day.
I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, you missed Pac-Man Day.
I love that Bowers' girlfriend Chrissy's not in our video audience one day, and all the girls are coming clamoring.
All right. They heard I had that #1 album sold 39 copies. Fuck yeah,
that's right.
All right, with that, Rachel, let's catch up a little bit and then let's play the game.
Yeah, we've got 8 to catch up on. So we've got Jeremy H. Gave $5 on behalf of Revel and said one of the games should be make Rachel try to pronounce different things.
Absolutely should.
We should do that on Sunday. Let's do that on a Sunday.
Yeah, do that on a Sunday when Jarrett plays the part of Rachel.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. Paul Luth, $5. I can't believe Ben didn't say Dawn French Vanilla.
Who's Dawn French?
Who's Dawn French?
He was was he on Hogan's Heroes or something? He's an old actor.
It says Dawn. He?
It looks like a
D-O-N. D-O-N could certainly be a Dawn.
British actress. Oh, that's why. We're all American. We don't know how to translate stuff into British.
Oh yeah. We don't know.
You could do
we just lost our UK audience.
You could do French Vanilla Stewart.
Yes, absolutely. Allison,
That's good.
barely playing the game, still just beat Ben. Just want to put that out there. Allison 1, Ben 0.
How about you? It also could be vanilla flavored Tom Hanks.
Yes, also good.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
So dumb.
Cherry Garcia. That's already an ice cream flavor. It's a play on someone's name. Damn it.
But Cherry Maguire isn't.
Ooh,
Oh, damn.
Pretty good.
Boom.
Cherry
You
Lee
code-
Lewis. There's
No, on the Cherry Maguire, I have to respond with "You complete me."
yeah. Ben wins. He got one.
Yay!
All right, Ben.
All right, let's go back to the chat.
We've got Llama 138, $5, and I don't know who this is for, probably Bowers, but it's "You're a snack on legs."
Ooh, all right.
Is that calling me fat? Is that a fat joke?
Compliment.
Oh, good. Thanks.
E-hole, $5 for Queen Rachel. You're awesome. We've got George Edwards, $10. Thank you guys for what you do. Comedians have always been my go-to when I'm in a funk, but now it's even more important.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. Thank you.
We've got Dave Adler, gave 120 stars, so 120, but he also gave some earlier for the game we'll get into, but he said just some more to go with my comment above. The 1,200 stimulus checks have been deposited today for release on Monday.
Nice.
Oh, somebody got that. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We have Overkill, $6.66. Steve, I'm glad I got to see you and Brett in San Diego before this all went down. Hope you're staying in a good headspace during this quarantine.
Thank you. And thank you for the lucky number donation. Much appreciated.
Jordan, $10. Steve, I swear I keep putting off eating my meatloaf. So I swear I'm reverse waitressing you. So $5, well, $10. Please let me eat my meatloaf.
All right, you can eat while watching. Just a heads up, but unless they're worried about choking because we're this funny. Oh, you know it's a good celebrity food name, Meatloaf. What else we got?
Or Eminem.
You could do peanut M&M. What? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Peanut M&M is really good.
No, it's not.
Notorious Biggie size my French fries.
But just we have to move on.
Yep. Yes, we do.
We have E-hole, $2. Hashtag cash for Elliot.
Nice.
That's a real college fund.
Yeah.
And then we've got Carrie in our live audience, $5. Ben, stop talking and bring the dog back, please.
No, Carrie, Ben was the dog.
Let me just, I take that as a compliment. So thank you so much.
And those are all the generals. We're done.
All right, excellent. Just some real quick generals. $2 from Tyler Stevens says, give it 30 to 40 more years, and Chris won't be a snack on legs. He'll be a meal on wheels. Oh.
That is a joke that I'm going to get diabetes and lose my feet.
Oh, boy.
It sure is, Chris.
Wow. That was impressive.
Please see Bowers losing his feet to diabetes and being like, I love it. I'm driving right now. I got no feet. Wheel legs. Wheel legs are the best. You can put hot dogs. You can roll yourself in the hot dog cart.
You know how much
Great
money
life.
I'm saving on? You know how much money I'm saving on shoes right now? I can't even tell you.
We got Kira Lucy Guard sent in $250 and said, my cat and I love watching you, Steve. Please come to a show at Christchurch, New Zealand at some point. Thank you much, Kira. Was just there and hope to be back soon. Hope to be
Much
anywhere
love
soon.
to Christchurch.
Let's do the contest. Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. So we've
Rach, what do we got?
some non-entries. So we've got Jason Gearer said, stop eating Oreos. You're already fat like your mother.
Oh, damn. Say that to a kid?
Oh, shit.
$25, you'd have had a shot.
Woo, that's fucking salty.
That's also a
Much
thing
worse.
that some horrible parents do say.
And much worse if the father says that than if the mother says that.
Yes, much worse.
Uh,
What else we got?
We've got Ben with my favorite last name. Ben Verzalbe Bearkin. Okay, sweetie. Time for you to put your headset on. Mommy's going to be riding daddy for a bit.
Oh.
Oh. All right, so these aren't official entries, right? These are just okay.
They're not.
Making sure.
Do we have any from our live audience that want to be on camera and say theirs? Carrie, do you want one? No.
All right, nope. All right, pass
Okay.
on them. Thank you much.
So now we've got our paid bits. We've got
And Alison, just
Xavier.
a reminder, we need you to be judging these with us, so please be choosing your favorites.
Oh, okay. But the ones that we just heard are not entries, right?
That's
No.
correct.
Okay.
correct. All right. So we've got Xavier. Insert your parents or your pets is going to die.
Oh shit, that's dark. Open with a dark one. All right.
E-hole. Dear Timmy, those infidels' children did not get passed over.
Oh my God, that is a Passover specific one, timed well for this week.
Whoa.
You know this whole month is Passover?
Can you read that one again? Because it kind of like
Yeah, cut out a little
got
bit.
warbly, yeah.
Yep. Dear Timmy, those infidels' children did not get passed over.
Okay.
All right. What else we got?
Crystal Pylon. Wherever you want to shove the Frozen or equivalently overplayed movie in your house.
Oh, so basically, like, that's saying don't play Frozen for your kids. That's not even saying, like, this is like it's saying this is a bad thing because fuck them, I'm tired of this. Like, that was,
Yeah.
that is an exasperated parent. You need to read Ben Gleib's book on parenting. I think it'll really help.
Chapter 1, I do include a tip like, put your child, if he's being talkative, in a cardboard box. Leave the top open. Everybody wins.
What else we got?
Yep. So we have Dave Adler on Facebook. Your grandparents can't come over because you were bad.
Oh shit. That's just mean.
He said he
what
wanted
else?
to put something COVID related with the grandparents, but that would be too dark.
Oh fuck.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Well, thank God we didn't all think of that.
We've got Wasatch Traveler to the kid. No, honey, we can't go to the park right now or our lungs will stop working.
Like maybe if we did something COVID related.
Pretty solid.
Wow.
All right, what else we got?
We have Jen Winklepleck. Something for a kid not to hear. If you and your friends sat around and made a new game called Fuck Kill Coronavirus involving the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, and Santa.
Oh geez, so that's like a fuck, marry, kill with COVID.
Oh boy.
Fuck, marry, cough on. Like, what are we playing? You guys want to play fuck, marry, cough? All right, what else we got? And by the way, I have a pretty solid one on Venmo that I'm gonna hold till the end.
Okay, well, this is the last one I have from Sean Chandler. Contest entry, your brother's dad is actually your father.
Oh, that is a complicated situation.
Oh.
All right, that is.
I love like that's a surprise. Like,
Yeah, that is a family with some twists and
Did I say
turns.
brother's dad? Did
You
I
meant
say
dad's brother?
Yeah.
I meant dad's brother.
Oh my God.
Quit.
Rachel, this entire time has been like, who's quoting from Shot Hops? I've never seen that.
Anymore. I can't do this anymore.
It keeps on giving, Rach. This is amazing. Okay, we've got one more on Venmo. I thought it was gonna win, but I don't know how to follow that. All right. So Jan Johnson threw in $5 and said, "Oh my God, your little butt looks just like your dad's."
Oh my God.
And apparently, someone said that to her daughter when she was 13.
Whoa.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Oh, no.
She meant uncle.
Yeah, uncle Ben. She meant uncle. Yeah.
That's what I said.
People watching, whether you're watching on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, vote for your favorites in the comments. And we'll read out what the crowd favorite is as well. But we're gonna vote on it now. So Caleb, what do you vote for?
Oh, I gotta go with that little butt.
Yeah. All right. The butt is in the lead right now. 1-0. Allison, what about you?
God, I'm torn between butt and the park and lung one. I'm gonna go with we can't go to the park because your lungs will stop working.
Yeah, that is both horrible and also kind of good advice.
Yeah.
So all right. So it's a tie right now. And then what do you got? What do you got, Bowers?
I'm going lungs. Your lungs will stop working. I like that one.
All right, Ben, what about you?
I liked the butt one, but I don't think anything can top the great butt of Megan's late grandmother. So I think
Oh man.
From long distance.
That reference
Oh my
was
God,
my Hot Shots reference.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I vote for we can't go in the park or our lungs will stop working. It's so good. So good.
All right, so
Topical and
then
perfect.
my vote already doesn't matter. The lung one wins. I was gonna vote for the butt one because that is disgusting on a couple of levels. But that said, what's the consensus in the chat, Rich? What do people like?
Yeah, it looks like there's quite a few saying about the park. Yeah, all of them
All right,
are
the
saying park.
Park is the winner.
Yeah.
All right, if the park one was yours, what you do, go to laughfromhome.com. There is an email at the bottom of that website. Email in, give us the identifying info so we know it's you. We can match it, and you will get copies of all the host albums as well as a future ticket to be part of our front row right here on the show. And before we go, we want to do a couple of things. First of all, Caleb, you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah. You can. They kicked me off of Twitter, so it's not at Caleb Synan anymore. It's just at Dumb Caleb. Don't make fun of Joe Biden. They don't like it. Just don't change your picture to be Joe Biden. I guess that's technically illegal. But you can find me on Instagram at Caleb Synan and on Venmo at Caleb Synan or PayPal Caleb Synan gmail.com. I can send you a 45-minute bootleg of my act because I don't have an album or a special, but it's my whole show, and I'll send it to you for whatever you want to Venmo me. Most people have been saying suck my dick and give me $1, but I still get that $1. And I'll suck your dick.
It's PayPal, so you get like 68 cents of it, but still. Still. And Allison, you want to do some plugs?
Yes, listen to my podcast, Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend, and Childish. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Alison Rosen, just one L, blame my parents. Also, I'm on Patreon, patreon.com/Alison Rosen. Oh, and I have a book out, Tropical Attire Encouraged and Other Phrases That Scare Me. You can get that on Amazon or wherever.
Awesome. Yeah. And what we want to do right now, I wanted to say thank you to everybody because one of the things that we're doing with the show is we're raising money for something called the Martin Grant. For those unfamiliar, when my dad passed 5 years ago, I started a kind of a comedy scholarship in his name. And every year we find an up-and-coming comic, give enough money to quit their day jobs, so they can concentrate their art full-time so that one day they too can perform 5 minutes in front of a Peloton bike or whatever is going on. But this year's a little bit different because this year we broke the grant up in, instead of one $10,000 grant, we broke into 10 $1,000 grants and actually have been raising money to make it more than 10. We're up to, I believe, 14 now. We have the money for them because of people like you, and you guys have been supporting the show and donating, and it's been absolutely amazing. And so something we wanted to do today, and I think he probably figured it out just now, is that we want to announce the first winner of it is Caleb Synan. So, Caleb, you are the first winner of this year's Martin Grant. You're getting $1,000 in addition to the tips you got today, and it's because of people,
oh my God.
It's because of the people who've been supporting the show that we're able to do this.
Yes.
So we're going to send it to you on PayPal.
I will not
send
spend
you
it
on
on
PayPal,
that.
so they're going to take
Congratulations. Congratulations, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
thank you. This
for real,
means
though.
a lot. Yeah, this is huge. Now I can just focus on my hats and my jokes and see if I can get a Clinton Gore mask. That'll really complete the whole thing. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, my parents are going to be so proud. This is like they'll be prouder of this than anything. They're like, oh man, that's something that's real. We watched.
Yeah.
They love the social distancing social club.
If you could wait till 3 a.m. to text your mom about it, we would appreciate that.
I'll just send her at 3 a.m. I'll say, you'll never guess what I did for $1,000 and just wait. For
For real though, Caleb, you are super funny. What people don't necessarily know about the grant is the qualifications this year are, people have to lose a certain amount of work due to COVID, which, comedians have lost. And it is also for full-time comedians, for people who did this for a living, not people who are hoping one day to be comedians, although a number of those people submitted because they can't read. But it's for people who were able to do this for a living and then suddenly couldn't anymore because of this. And so it's, we are right now the only paying show in town, and, and it's because of the viewers. And so not only did Caleb win, but we also want to announce 3 more winners that if you guys want to go tell them they won on their social media, because they don't know yet. So feel free to go surprise them. The other 3 winners of the batch of first 4 are Renan Hirschberg, who has also been on this show.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Ramon Rivas and Amy Miller. Those are the first 4 winners.
Yes.
And we'll be announcing more over the next couple of weeks and hopefully raising more money for the grant so that we can continue to award as many as possible. Like I said, it's you guys are so awesome for supporting this, and it just, I mean, this makes me, as someone who's doing this, for his dad's legacy, it makes me feel fucking great that you guys are supporting so much. So I just want to say thank you to everybody.
And also just a quick word on that too is Hofstetter was kind enough to let Bowers and I be part of the decision-making process. And we read all the applications, and Caleb, yours and the other winners that we just announced were just amazing applications, both heartfelt and interesting. And you could just see your passion for comedy and for what you do. And it's really cool to be able to just help out a little bit during this very insane time. So congrats, man.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I don't want to make anybody mad, but this is the most fun thing I do now. This show, I mean, it's the first that you can hear it feels like half podcast, half. It's like the most fun thing possible. So it's not just that, but it's like I still feel like a comedian when I'm on this show. So it feels better than any other thing that people are up to, and I appreciate that as much as anything. This is so fun.
Thank you, and fine, we'll have you back.
I am going to run out of hats. Not
with $1,000. Steve, here's my question, Steve. Should we make this like the Heisman Trophy, and whoever wins the grant gets to be on the decision-making committee for the next grants? What do you think about that?
Whoa.
I do not think that that's a good idea at all. I think, have you seen how bad some of the Heisman winners have turned out to be? Do you want a comedian who doesn't have one snap in the NFL? because that's what's going to happen. So
I thought you were talking about O.J. Simpson. I thought you were saying that hypothermia.
Oh no. I don't. Yeah, that's also bad. That is also bad. Yeah, that's a terrible thing too. By the way, some last minute Venmos. Mandy Walters threw in a $2 tip, much appreciated. Kim Woo, frequent supporter of the show, said another awesome time. Thanks, threw in $25. Rach, do we have anything coming in on the YouTube?
We do. We have a few more. So the Joshua gave $70 and said, "Great job. Thanks all for the entertainment." Robert Edwards, $5.
Wait, hold on a second.
Raquel.
I just read it myself. It was 50.
Well, no, he gave $20 earlier. Hold
Okay,
on.
just making
He
sure.
gave
I was like,
20 earlier.
holy shit, Rach, are you serious?
Do math.
I was like, even numbers.
No, I got the
No,
numbers.
so it was
He
$20
gave
plus the
earlier.
$50. Okay, just
This
Yeah,
show, by the
yeah.
way, is also brought to you by the good people at Lens Crafters. We've been calling, Rachel. Turn the call.
We have the Jordan gave, I combined 2 chats together to get $25. And he said, thank you, everybody. Steve, maybe give a copy of the Ginger Kid to one of the YouTube audience. So maybe at some point.
yeah, I'll just run down to the post office. Just give me a minute.
It is open. And that is all I have.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. Let's do some plugs. Bowers, what do you got?
At Bowers Comedy, all my stuff, and my album is off the top 200 now. But if you want to go buy it, if we bought it again today, it could maybe tomorrow at bowersalbum.com. Check it out. It's been getting good reviews. There's been 4-star reviews, so pretty good.
Yeah, that's 16 stars. Ben Glee, what about you?
I just wanted to mention people can check out my game show, Idiot Test, on Netflix. Season 1 is on there. You can watch my hour special, Neurotic Gangster, here on YouTube for free, or on Amazon Prime, uninterrupted. And I'm announcing my new charity. It's called Tuxedo Jackets and Closets. We are trying to raise money to get the jackets back in the fucking closet. Please reach deep. Please reach as deep as you can. Announce that as a surprise during the show right now as well. So thank you all for tuning in. It's been great doing this for the last 3 weeks. Isolation Nation. It's the only hour and a half I feel alive every day. I'm gonna return to my girlfriend now.
Excellent. Thank you, Ben. And
Steve,
I'm kidding. I love you, baby.
Steve, I forgot one quote, one plug. You can also see Hot Shots on Netflix and Hot Shots Part 2. So check those out. and then I will be funnier tomorrow when I say shit.
it's now you were great. Also,
I don't have a clue what you're talking about, Phil. Not a fucking clue.
As we're headed out, I also wanted to say it was wonderful to have Alison on the show. I got to be on when she was still on the Adam Carolla show. I was a guest a couple times, and also we were in a movie together.
We were
in the movie Road Hard, and it was the first movie I was in, and I was nervous as fuck. And Alison was super nice to me. We had barely met at that point, and was super nice to me. And it's very, like when you sit down on a movie set and you don't know anybody and everybody's famous except you, it's very daunting. And I just wanted to say thanks, because it made me feel a lot more comfortable, and I appreciate that. And we also had just a last minute just came in from Z Bunster, threw in another $50 and said a bunch of stuff, but including that she loved Bowers' album. So I wanted to make sure that Bowers heard that, since his self-esteem was hurt a little bit on this episode. Kidding. You cannot hurt Bowers' self-esteem. It is impossible. But anyway, the point of that was to say, go listen to Alison Rosen's various podcasts. She's truly talented, and we appreciate her coming on the show. So
thank you for
thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Congrats, Gailey.